Have you ever felt yourself slowly becoming invisible? Invisible in the eyes of beautiful young women in America? Those young women full of life and full of charm? You ask yourself, do I still have any appeal? Or are you just a walking ATM? A walking cash machine for them? Do not worry, you are not alone in this. Millions of gentlemen across America feel the same way. They are wrestling with the very same fear. And today, I am going to share a secret with you. A secret that is incredibly dark and powerful. This secret is 500 years old. It comes from a truly great man. His name is Niccolò Machiavelli, the man known as the master of power, the master of psychological influence. Machiavelli did not only write dry political books. He also held a secret very few people know. He spent his final years observing women, specifically 400 encounters with courtesans. They were the most skilled practical psychologists, more skilled than any university professor. From those encounters, he drew out hard-earned lessons. Lessons for men passed down through the centuries. Lessons that can turn you into a magnet that draws young women toward you. If you want to know how to win a young woman's heart without relying on the thickness of your wallet, then this video is your golden map. A map made specifically for gentlemen like you. Please hit like and subscribe to the channel right now, so you do not miss any of the secrets coming up. Let us begin this journey of decoding together. Part 1. The Machiavelli story and the blind spot of desire. Let us imagine a scene together. The city of Florence in the 16th century. Niccolò Machiavelli was the most powerful man around. He could negotiate even with the Roman Pope. He could decide the fate of entire kingdoms. But then, a major event struck him hard. He was exiled from his beloved homeland. He fell into a deep mental tragedy. By day, he wrote books about power. By night, he drowned himself in pleasure. Do you know what the most fascinating part is? He observed himself in those moments. He watched himself fall into the trap of desire. And from that, he discovered a stunning concept. He called it the blind spot of desire. In modern psychology, we call it by another name. We call it emotional flooding. When your desire rises up powerfully, your prefrontal cortex shuts down completely. This is the brain region that helps you decide logically. So what happens at that moment? The limbic system, the ancient emotional brain, takes over, and you become irrational right away. Irrational when you are face to face with her. Let me give you an example. You can sign $1 million contract in the morning. You negotiate firmly with major business partners. You do not flinch under any pressure. But what happens in the evening? In the evening, you do incredibly foolish things, just to impress one young woman. A young woman who does not even love you. Does this sound familiar to you? This is what philosophers call akrasia, the weakness of will. You often think you are sharp enough to never be fooled by anyone. But the reality is completely different. Knowing and doing are two very different things. Scientists call this the Joe fallacy. The name sounds funny, but it is truly frightening. Knowing your blind spot does not remove the blindness. You will still fall into the trap as before. Desire itself is not bad, let me be clear. But unconscious desire is a chain, an invisible chain wrapped around your neck, and someone is always holding the other end. Someone ready to pull you wherever they please. Does that send a chill down your spine? Have you ever done something foolish for a woman? Please comment below and share with me. I promise I will not judge anyone. I just want you to see that you are not alone. Now we move on to part 2. This part is even more important. Part 2. The trap of seeking validation. Do you know what the biggest mistake is? The mistake of men over 65 in America. It is seeking validation from women, looking for self-worth through her eyes. Machiavelli observed something fascinating. He saw the most regal kings, men who commanded tens of thousands of soldiers. They became strangely weak when they needed a smile from a beautiful woman. They began exaggerating their wealth. They flaunted their status openly. They told heroic stories to make an impression. In evolutionary psychology, there is a term for this. They call it costly signaling. You deliberately show her your wealth. You show off your success and power. But young women in America are very perceptive. They pick up on this immediately. They know that when you need their praise, at that moment, you have already lost. Do you know why you lose? because you have shifted the locus of control, shifted it from inside you to outside yourself. It means your happiness is now in her hands. She holds the lever that controls you, the lever that controls all of your emotions. Please remember this carefully, gentlemen. True confidence does not need to brag. A man with gravitas carries enormous weight. In Latin, the word is gravitas, so heavy that no one can move him. Let me tell you the story of William, my 68-year-old student living in Miami. In the past, every time he went on a date, he told stories. Stories about yachts, mansions, exotic vacations, but the women slowly lost interest in him. I told William one important thing. Stop talking about what you have. Start listening to who she is. Just one small change like that. His entire love life completely transformed. Never make promises you cannot keep, just to earn a temporary look of admiration. Because once that look fades away, you will feel terrifyingly empty. You will chase her again to beg for more. That is the moment you become a slave to your own desires. Are you feeling this right now? Do you need validation from someone? Please be honest with yourself, gentlemen. Now we move on to part 3, a part full of hope for you. Part 3, the strategy of prestige instead of dominance. What do you usually worry about the most? That you no longer have a six-pack body. You fear young men will steal the attention, steal her gaze away from you. But please listen to what I am about to say. The psychology of young women is fascinating, far more complex than you might imagine. There are 2 ways to gain social status. They are dominance and prestige. 2 completely different paths. Do you know what dominance is? It is using physical strength to impose, to force others to follow your will. This is the game of young, immature men who are shallow and lacking depth. They flaunt their muscles, their cars, their girlfriends, but prestige is something completely different. In English, the word is prestige. This is what mature women truly crave. Prestige comes from knowledge and skill. Prestige comes from wisdom built over many years. And here is the wonderful news for you. A man of 65 years old, like yourself. You already know how this world works. You know how to solve complex problems that young men can only stand and stare at. Young women in America often look for 3 things. I like to call them the 3 Ps. The first one is protector. They need someone standing between them and danger. The second one is provider. Not just money, but a sense of safety. And the most important is the third P. That is the master who shows the way. You have a stability that young men do not. You have wisdom, forged over decades. This is your most powerful weapon. Do not try to imitate youth in a ridiculous way. Do not dye your hair pitch black like a teenager. Do not wear the clothes your son wears. Shine through your composure and your experience. Your magnetism lies in your wisdom. You understand the nature of human beings deeply. You can read the emotions of others. You know how to navigate difficult situations. This is the real kind of weapon. A weapon no money can ever buy. Please share this video with your friends who are around your age, friends who are also searching for answers. They deserve to know these secrets too. Now we arrive at the climax. The most shocking part of today's video, part 4. The shocking truth about the desire to surrender. This is where I reveal the most stunning truth, a truth that Machiavelli already saw, but few have ever dared to admit it. Please sit tight and listen carefully. Do you think women attract you with their beauty? Yes, but that is only the outer shell, a thin shell that fades with time. The deeper truth goes much further than that. What is the real weakness of older men? It is not sexual desire, gentlemen. It is the desire to surrender. Sounds strange, doesn't it? Let me explain it to you right away. All your life, you have been the leader, the one who decides everything in the family, the one responsible at the company. You had to be strong in front of your wife and children. You had to control every unexpected situation. That is an incredibly exhausting burden. A lonely burden no one can share with you. No one sees behind your armor. No one knows that you also have moments of weakness. No one gives you permission to rest. Smart young women understand this very well. They know you are craving a permission slip to stop thinking, a permission slip to stop fighting, to return to being a regular human being. They offer you a very special space, a space where you are allowed to be soft, a place where you can take off the armor of power. Set it aside for just a few hours. That is the greatest liberation of the soul. Surrendering before beauty is not weakness. It is the liberation that you truly need. Many powerful men would trade everything just for a few hours of feeling truly cared for, of feeling genuinely cherished. And here is the key point I want to make. Smart young women do not manipulate your wallet. They manipulate your need to rest, your deep psychological need for rest. This is their real source of leverage. Machiavelli saw the most brilliant generals, men who conquered entire continents. They knelt at the feet of one woman, not because they were weak in body, but because they wanted to surrender in their soul. Have you ever felt exhausted? Exhausted from always having to be strong. Exhausted from always having to be right. Be honest with yourself right now. That is your fatal weakness. So what is the final lesson, gentlemen? Let me summarize the 3 main points. First, recognize your own emotional blind spot. Do not let the emotional system control your brain, the sharp business mind that you have built. Second, build your self-worth from within. Do not let the smile of a young woman. Do not let that smile decide who you are. Third, leverage the prestige of your age. Leverage the wisdom you have accumulated. That is your most precious asset, an asset young men will never have. Do not fall into Machiavelli's mistake, the mistake of knowing but not practicing. You need to observe your emotions like a scientist. Ask yourself these honest questions. What void is this desire trying to fill? What do I truly need right now? Is this love or is this dependence? When you understand your true needs, you will no longer be led by anyone. You will become the master of the game, the master of your own romantic life, a man with rock-solid inner strength, always extremely attractive in the eyes of women, more attractive than any young man. Thank you for listening to these heartfelt thoughts, these honest reflections from my heart. If this video gave you a new perspective on romantic relationships, please hit like and share right away. Share it with your like-minded friends, men who are also searching and questioning. They deserve to know this truth. This is a meaningful gift you can give them. Do you believe men always want to surrender? To surrender before beauty unconsciously? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section. I will read and reply to each one. I am really looking forward to your responses. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel so you can discover more deep psychological secrets. I will always walk alongside you on the journey of mastering your own life, the journey of finding back the brilliance you once had. Goodbye, my dear gentlemen. See you again in the next video. Wishing you peace and inner strength always. Wishing you find true happiness. Goodbye, and see you soon.